Hey art fam, it's Luis Martin, the art engineer, and welcome to the studio, welcome to the safe space where we are going to collage and play this low risk, high reward art activity. Remember, when you're here, the only competition is who's having the most fun, right? Cheesy, but so true. All right, so it's Februllage 2023. It's a marathon for everyone involved. You can do one, you can do all of them. I've been doing all of them. And I've been playing it by the edge of my seat. I wake up every morning and I make my collage. And it's kind of fun because I actually dream about the collage I'm gonna create. I don't really plan it, but I can see it in my mind's eye as I'm sleeping. And if you dream about the things that you do, then you're probably in the right place, right? If that's all you think about, then you're doing a good thing. So I feel pretty good about it. Before I continue, please remember to subscribe to the newsletter at collagedream.com so you can be part of the #ArtFam and be part of this amazing community that's worldwide and super supportive. I have been having the best time seeing everybody's collages and everybody's take on it. We're doing some really exciting stuff post Februllage, so join in, become a member, either at the $10 level for everybody around the world, where you get a digital PDF collage kit every month, or if you're in the States, become a member and receive a physical collage kit for $30 at the moment. It's amazing. It's all really fun, so come on in. So this time around, I thought I would share some of my favorite collages that I've created because as I'm looking at my notes, Socrates supposedly said, an unexamined life is not worth living. I can stand by that, right? Sometimes you just gotta see where you've been to see where you're going. That's another quote. I don't know who said that. I have the list of prompts here. Listen, if you have this list, you don't have to do it in February. You can do it in March, you can do it in May, whatever. Keep it as a source of inspiration, because sometimes when you're bored and have no ideas, you can just take a look at this little list and pick one at random and play, right? I will say there is one coming up that's really important to me, which is number 24, and it's me. Why is it important to me? Not only because I'm a ham and a narcissist in the best way possible, no. Because me is important, you are important. As artists, as creative people, we really have to step forward and be seen, take up space. We live in a world, if you live in the States, you know what I'm talking about. If you live outside of the States, you know what I'm talking about, where they want to take our space and they want us to be small, especially if you're a sensitive person, especially if you have ideas, especially if you're a person of color, especially if you're a woman, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're whatever. If you have a heart. I put my heart here because that's where my heart is. Especially if you have a message of peace and love, they want to shut you out. So with this me prompt, this is your opportunity. This is literally your invitation to show up. So please, take a selfie, the stupidest one you can take, and print it out or make a digital collage with it and make something that represents you. I want to see that you're thriving. I want to see that you're okay. And show up, show up, show up, show up. All right, so I'm going to work on mine and I'll see what I do. In a perfect world, I'll do like a really crazy fun one, but it might just be me coloring it in my face or something. All right, so let's get started. I have my notebook and my list. So I've been literally working out of my notebook just because I've been working on the fly, and it's nice to keep it together. You'll see I am not precious about my collaging, and that is a big reason why I collage. I went to art school. I grew up in museums where, you know, it was basically church, and you bow down to all the great male artists, Rothko, Picasso, whatever. And I was like, no. You know, art is my lifestyle, but if I put it up in a pedestal, then it becomes this thing that I can never live up to. So I don't do that. When I was a painter, it was very much the same thing. With collage, it's so easy not to be precious because it's paper. It's just paper, and there's so much paper in the world. So have fun with it. The first one I want to share with you. So I traveled with this to San Francisco, did some crazy stuff, but I'm only going to show you what I have for Februllage. So this is what I want to show you the first. that I want to show you. And again, look, see, not precious. It's just hanging out in there. Later, if I want, I'll put it in an archival little notebook, which I recommend. So this was for cactus, right? Which was number 6. And I'll read you what I named it. And I also love to write. If I wasn't super duper dyslexic, I'd be a writer. But because words jump all over the place when I try to write them down, I collage. But I do manage to write something about what I create. So for this one, cactus, I called it sharp and supple. And this is what I wrote. When I disrupt the old stories with new words, there is no more blades growing from my skin. There are no need to focus on the oceanless desert. Instead, I feel the life from the sun and I grow. So it's the desert, right? And when we think of the desert, we think of dry. I'm from Los Angeles, which was a desert by the time I got to LA. When I was born, it was a city. But we think of desert as dry and empty. But the truth of the matter is there's so much life, there's so much mysticism in the desert that it's constantly growing, it's constantly calling, it's self-sufficient, there's so much beauty. So something kind of triggered me to create something that was simple, right? If you take a look, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 elements here. You really don't need that much, especially when you find yourself. Now, this is a big secret and a big tip, you guys. Tip number 4735. I approach every single one of these prompts and every single thing that I face in life, not with the prompt, but I ask myself, well, what's a smile to me? Because your smile might be this beautiful smile with dimples and straight teeth. Not so much for me. I have a crooked mouth. I have whatever. I have a white beard. That's my smile, right? I'm not going to try to be your smile because I got my own. So all of these, what's my boat look like? What does weeping look? Oh my God. Weeping was so gorgeous because I did it during a collage happy hour live. And I was like, no, I don't want to think about tears anymore. I go through dark phases in my life and tears are a big part of my day. So I don't want to think about it today because I had a good day. But then one of the members, one of our art fam in Australia was watching and she's like, they could be tears of joy. Right. And this is why we need community. This is why we can't be the smartest person in the room because we need to change perspective sometimes. So weeping was completely shifted for me. It was a thing of joy. Thank you, Wendy. So all of these, if you're ever stumped, that's the door. That's your access point. What does this mean to me? Not the ghost of Halloween. Who cares about Halloween? What does the ghost mean to you, right? So that's a tip right there. So I love this. It's one of my favorite ones because it's just gorgeous. And anytime you put beautiful colors with a black and white background, you're always going to get a beautiful composition, right? And this is what this is to me, composition. This is music. Okay, what's the next one? Ooh, I love this one. This was a recent one. This one is strong. Again, yes, muscles are strong, people are strong. But when I thought of strength, I also thought about what was happening in the world where, Florida's making all these laws to erase our history, where the United States is constantly trying to shut people that look like me, that look like you possibly, shut us out of our inheritance of being alive and the people who came before us, James Baldwin, Cesar Chavez, Huerta, all these amazing people that we're not learning about because they want us to be erased. So this manifested into a collage where strength to me is more about making decisions, right? So I'll read to you what I wrote. So this is for strength. It's called Flex the Step. Be strong enough to leave the herd and follow your path. Nor tribe nor country can keep you from being an expression of the divine. Your soul is a muscle. Your soul is a muscle. Okay, let's unpack this a little bit. sometimes we get so bogged down with like, but I'm brown, but I'm Mexican. I can't not love the Virgin Mary. I can't not like tacos, which I do. Or whatever tribe you belong to, you think, no, I have to follow that story. The minute you realize that you're a soul, the minute you realize that you have so much divine power to follow your own path, regardless of who you are, where you come from, and where they say you should go, that's when you become powerful and super strong. Forget the six pack, forget the biceps. This is strength, right? So I found this image of these beautiful deer, and they're all going their own way. They're all going their own way. And I love this one in the middle because it's like going behind the roses, following the rainbow. Because while they're making all these laws, you guys, about, you know, drag queens reading, about drag queens dressing in drag, they're telling some little kid, stay down, stay meek, hide, don't be seen or be heard. No, it's okay. It's okay. So all of this, everything that I do, that's me flexing my soul, right? Someone asked me, what the heck do you mean by that? Your soul is a muscle. Every time you follow your intuition, the things that move you, the things that make you feel alive, that's your soul calling you. That's your muscle wanting to contract, like, yeah, that's who I am. So when you do that, you become stronger, and your soul becomes your greatest muscle. Your art becomes your greatest muscle. That's what makes us artists. Not even good artists or bad artists. This is what makes you an artist, when you're awake to that calling that inspires you, right? I can talk and go on forever, you guys. So the next one, and I think this one was one of my favorite. This one I want to do something with, very special. I love this one. This one was for Celestial. Why do I like it? First of all, the composition just came together really quick. You know those silly movies where they like show artists painting and their eyes go back and they're just like, that's kind of what happens to me, just in that I don't think about it. I'm not worried about what's going to look like at the end. To me, it's just about giving space for my hands to move and for my mind to connect, and I will go as far as saying, I didn't make this. This is my connection with the divine. Take it how you will. Try it. So this one is called Celestial. I mean, how perfect, right? So it's called I Receive Love. And this is what I wrote. The door is in a note and chorus to songs, and sometimes in the taste of food. The celestial, the bigger part of you, is always in the process of embracing your every move. I receive love. Like, here's this person all by themselves, and it's so easy to feel alone, to feel like it's just a dark void, right? With what's happening outside, with what's happening inside, it's easy to forget that you're surrounded by beauty, right? That, like, this is an expression of the divine. Yes, this is what the divine looks like. That's what the divine looks like you, right? So this is a reminder that even though it feels like that, you're always being protected, you're always being held, you're always being loved. And the moment you can remember that, the moment you are free, right? You can stand up straight knowing that even though you don't see it, you know you're part of something bigger. And that's really important to me as an artist and me as a person. So in everything that I do, I want this message to be loud, clear, unquestionable, right? Because you can do this. You can tap into the same energy. You have access to magazines, right? So let's play, right? So that was my take on the celestial, the connection to it. I have one more that I wanted to share that I actually made today, and it was for wings. This one came together also really fast. I think I thought about it a lot because I love the idea of wings. And this one's called The Dream Peddler. And in many ways, this is kind of like a self-portrait. So it's called The Dream Peddler, and the prompt was wings. And what I wrote about it was, heaven's got your size. I can sell you 1,000,000 dreams, but you need to believe in sleep. I am an educator. I'm an artist. I wish I could like lock myself in the room and collage and paint and not care and just make work and sell it. But that's not enough for me. Like, I need to do this. I need to connect with you. I need to connect with people, and I need to let them know the secret that like this can change your life, that this can heal you, that this can give you power. Right? So this is a self-portrait in that I am giving people wings as an educator, as an artist. But like every medicine, like everything in the world, it doesn't mean anything if you don't do your part, if you don't believe, right? You can be taking the best medicine in the world, but if you're not treating yourself well by drinking water, breathing good air, exercising, stretching, there's no hope for you unless you do your part, right? So this is me sometimes feeling a little bit tired of like, you guys come into the light, come cut some paper and see what happens. But also just really excited about, look at all of these beautiful options that we have to fly, right? So this is my collage for wings. There are only a few more left. And again, I invite you to keep doing them. I mean, if I did this next month again, I'm going to come up with a different collage, obviously. So what a great way to have this conversation again and again and again, right? Some conversations are worth having multiple times. But this is it. So I just wanted to share a few collages and have some time to not necessarily make art, but also have a conversation about it. Because like I said in the beginning, life unexamined is not worth living, right? So go back to your collages and see if there is something that's connecting them. Is it color? Is it form? Do you always use the color pink? I do. Do you always have birds? Do you always use males? And then ask yourself why. Like, why pink, right? I know for me, because pink is such a feminine color, and I am a male presenting cis Latino man, that I'm not supposed to like pink, but I love pink, right? It's also a nod to my heritage. I'm Mexican, and in Mexico, we have a very specific hue of pink called rosa mexicana, right? So that's also there, and it's here too to a lesser extent, right? So ask yourself these questions, have conversations with yourself. And the big part of Februllage is not only making art, but sharing it and building community, right? How do you build community? Some people have told me like, I posted it, no one comments, like, what do I do? Well, the answer to that is give. Give. Go on Instagram or wherever people are sharing and leave a comment. Don't expect anything back. Just be like, I love that pink. I love those wings. That's it. Because people, I think we sometimes feel afraid to leave a comment because we're like, well, who am I? I don't know this person personally. That's the point of Instagram. No one knows all these people. Everyone that follows me doesn't know me. But every time someone leaves a message, I am beyond touched. I'm like, thank you for taking your time to leave me a note. And every time I leave a note, believe me, I'm dyslexic, like I said. I have to like reread everything 3 times. So every time I leave a note, it's like, okay, let me take time. You know, so when people do it, appreciate it, because it isn't always just on the fly. But the more you do it, the more people will remember you and appreciate you, and be genuine about your comments. And that's how you build community, right? And some of these people you will never meet, and that's fine. But you know, it's a reminder, you're not alone, and there's other people living parallel lives. You guys, this has been so much fun, and the party continues after February. Be sure you stick around and stay tuned to Collage Dream on Instagram, on the website, because we're gonna do some really exciting stuff. If you have any comments or questions, reach out, let me know. Let me know what moved you, and that's it. All right, I am Luis Martin, the art engineer, and I like to collage. I love to collage. Cheers.